What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So today will be the long-term review of the Leica Q3 43. So I've had it relatively long time now, I guess, probably all year. Can't remember exactly the month I got it, but multiple months now, and I've done quite a lot of shoots with it. I have done some outdoors model testing. Usually I use it for model testing. Normally I buy these kind of more cameras for just travel and just kind of going out and having fun, but this one really has become a workhorse for me, and mostly just for outdoors. I've done sports, portraits, lifestyle, events. Kind of tried to use it in every way possible, really, that I would normally use the camera in, without giving it limitations. At first it was a little bit scary, especially if you're coming from another system and you're trying out new cameras. You know, it's always kind of like, hope I can trust it, hope it works out, but you do definitely want to test it out before you go out and shooting with it to really understand the camera and kind of see how it works. But I've definitely shot a lot with it now, and I'll be putting up photos throughout the video just so you can kind of see what I've shot and the things that I've captured with it. But so far, overall, been a great experience. Love it. The lens, phenomenal, super sharp. But, you know, there are some downsides, like any camera. You're not going to love everything, and everything's personal preference. But I think these things are legitimate concerns, and they're not really my, they're not really my thoughts. This is like facts. So I'll go ahead and get through the negatives first on things that I wish were improved, that aren't a deal breaker necessarily for me, but could be a deal breaker for you, and definitely no one's really talking about these kind of things. And this will be for daily use. So first thing first, let's just start with the basics. So your shutter speed is only at 1/2000. So mechanical shutter, 1/2000, which is not that great, really. It's more like a film camera. I would have liked to have seen 1/4000 would have been great, but 1/2000 it is. Not a big deal. Stop down, don't shoot in the middle of the day, or put a filter on the front and just take it down a little notch so you can shoot wide open if you need to. But ideally, I just don't shoot in the middle of the day either. It's just not my thing. But there are times when it is very bright, and maybe you need those situations where you do need to stop it down. So just go ahead and put a filter on the front, have one just ready, and get a good one and just leave it on there. No big deal. The rolling shutter is pretty severe. That's why I say mechanical shutter only. I would not even use the other shutter. I just turned it off. Even if you're barely moving, just some simple things, it just warps the whole image. Even people's faces, when they're kind of just doing portraits, they were getting really warped. So yeah, the rolling shutter is not great on this thing. And I wasn't shooting at 61 megapixels. I was only shooting at 36. I think I've tried 18 as well, but as a whole, not what it's made for. If you want to do that, just keep it at 1/2000, which is still plenty, for most everything. Just don't go into the electronic shutter. That's the first thing. Okay, second thing would be backlighting. So when you're backlighting someone, shooting into the sun, you're backlighting, the focus is not great. It just starts hunting. It doesn't like it too much. You can really stop it down or kind of, darken up the image, and it will help a little bit. But if you want to get it kind of medium exposure, I kind of hit it right in the middle. I don't mind blowing the highlights a little more if I'm really just, that's the thing that I want is, a bright background. So like, I'm not trying to make it perfect, but as a whole, it struggles. Yeah, it struggles. It's hunting a lot when you're backlighting. So a lot of times I will just have to click it into manual, which is very pleasurable experience on the camera, but it is something to note that I've never heard anyone talk about. And if you are shooting backlit, and a lot of times it's portraits, and I do use face and eye detection, and it works phenomenally, except for in that scenario. That would be the only time you have it up to your eye, and you'll see it, it'll turn red, and you're just kind of hunting a little bit. Go ahead and click it into manual, or just be patient. It's usually going to get it most of the time anyway. It doesn't miss that many, even when it kind of seems out of focus. It ends up actually being in focus. I only get like a couple misses. But it was something that I noticed where it's like, okay, this is a little hesitant. So that's the two major things I would say that annoy me, that are, not my opinion. Those are just like facts. These are things that are just kind of setbacks. But for opinion, oriented things, like the startup time maybe is a little slow for some people. I'm not in any rush, but yeah, sometimes when you turn it on, you just gotta sit there for a second. You'll see the red light blinking. Let it think for a minute, and then it's on. It's fine. I do shut my camera off after I shoot. So like I shoot a few photos and I'll just turn it right back off. Doesn't bother me, not that big of a deal for me. I'm never like, oh, I missed a shot. Like that's just not how I shoot. When I'm ready to shoot, I turn the camera back on and I get ready to shoot. So yeah, if you're not used to these type of cameras, Leica cameras in general, yeah, they're a little slower. You're gonna have to slow down the software, everything, they just don't have, it's not Sony, sorry. They just don't have the infrastructure for that. The software, granted, the software is better than everybody, pretty much. I would say this is my favorite software on any camera. But yeah, it's a little slow. So take the good with the bad. You want the best software? Guess what? You may not have the fastest camera. And that's just kind of one of the things. So that is a personal thing. Some people don't really care, don't even notice it. But most people, yeah, when you first pick up a Leica, you're going to notice, wow, this is kind of slow. Playback, same thing, a little bit slow. Doesn't matter what card you use. It's just different. It's different software, slower. That's all. It's not that big of a difference, but yeah, you're going to press play. And if you're used to being on my Canons, where I'm just, everything is fast, ripping through settings, but this is really not what that's for. You can slow down a little bit, take your time. Don't get, annoyed with it, but just notice that, yeah, it's a little bit slower, just a couple extra seconds there, here and there. So yeah, if you're a quick action, really trying to get everything and really go back and play back and do everything, just slow down, stop doing that. Kind of break those habits anyway. I don't really focus on that too much anyway. Another thing I would say would be the viewfinder and the screen. They don't quite match perfectly. The screen looks amazing. Like I actually like the screen. It looks great, but the white balance is a little off. I don't think it's quite accurate as it is in the viewfinder. When you look through the viewfinder, it's very accurate. So when you're doing playback, I'll just kind of check the viewfinder. Looks amazing. And I'm like, okay, great. But yeah, when you kind of notice the back of the screen, not that big of a deal. I'll shoot raw. I don't really care what it looks like. I'm going to just edit it anyway. So, but it is kind of nice sometimes when you see a nice, beautiful image on the back of the camera. I pretty much primarily only shoot shade or cloudy settings. I like my images to be a little warmer, and Leica tends to cool everything down quite a bit. It's just not my thing. I like it warm images. I usually shoot golden hour. It's just the way I like to work, and it's just, the color palette that I like is golden. It's orange and teal. It's the filmy kind of California colors. I'm in California, so like that's what I like. So that's one thing, just personal preference again, little kind of things that you'll kind of notice over time where you're kind of like, oh, okay, but who cares? What else? That is a good question now. I'm starting to, not much else really that's like bugs me more than anything. Handling, the comfortability, I would just have the thumb grip. Usually have a neck strap sometimes, but lately I've just been carrying it, dropping it in my bag, keep it protected, take it back out when I'm ready to shoot. Wow. Yeah, I don't really have anything else bad to say about it. And let's go ahead and get to some good stuff. This video might be a little long, so I'm just going to go ahead and jump into the good things, which, of course, those are a little more easily accessible. I'm sure most people have the camera. That's what they're going to talk about, the good things. Focal length for me, fantastic. Cropping, love it. It's great. It's fun. I love doing it. Shoot a lot of portraits like this. That way you're going to kind of position the subject in the middle, give a little headspace. If you're cropping, for Instagram or for social media and you want to crop it to portrait mode, I prefer it like this. It's going to give it a little more natural look. Sometimes I'll do it this way, but if you do want to use cropping a lot, try out it kind of gives you different angles and kind of different just ways of thinking that you're not going to sometimes when you crop things, you're like, oh, that looks really cool. Just try that too. So just try different things with the cropping and just kind of play with it. That's what it's designed for. So I would just try to utilize it a little bit. It does make it a little fun. Kind of helps with the limitations of just having the 43mm focal length, but so far, not an issue. Every now and then, of course, yeah, you're going to wish you had a 70-200. You're going to wish you had an 85. But those are times when you should, try to prepare beforehand and don't go into something thinking, you're going to do everything with this, because probably not. Design your own life with this camera. Don't go into thinking you're going to cover everything. Totally fine. What else? Colors, beautiful, right out of camera. I use Capture One. I do not use Lightroom for my color grading. I will put it in there for retouching or if I want to touch up something or just for storage even. I put all the JPEGs in there just to have them stored in the Lightroom. I do like it managing it that way with the mobile app. But as a whole, if you put it into Capture One, much better, much better. You don't have to touch the image. It's going to do everything for you. You don't even have to edit it. You can pretty much just import them and export them, and they're gonna look really good. It does everything so, just really has a nice color profile in there. So yeah, everything is through Capture One. That will change kind of your life with this camera. When I put them into Lightroom, I really have to go in and start tweaking stuff. They're not bad, but Capture One, if you're not using it, you should probably jump in there and try it out to see how you like it. Of course, not an ad. I've just been doing this for many years, and every professional I know, everyone I know, that if you're a professional photographer, you're gonna be using Capture One. It's gonna speed up your workflow, and it's that good. So unless you're using it, you don't know. Let's see. Battery life, no problems. Don't have an issue there. Charges USB-C. If I'm in the car, I'll just charge it up, make sure it's fully charged when I get there. No problem. I'm doing thousands of photos and the battery is barely at halfway. And I'll usually, average shooting, I'm doing between 700 and 1,000 photos for a normal photo shoot with me. If you're doing like a model portfolio or something, 3-4 looks, yeah, getting a couple hundred images each. That's really all you need. I don't need much else than that. Guys, I love the camera, really. I mean, the buttons, everything feels nice. Of course, the placement of everything. If you're a Leica fan, if you're a fanboy of Leica, or just love the experience, that's definitely a thing that, you know, is real. What is that? It's a Ferrari. I'm kind of on a back road. There's a lot of roads around here. I'm just kind of doing mountain drives. Yeah, wish he would pull over. I'd go shoot his car for him. But yeah, back to the camera. Hope you've been liking the photos and just really as a whole user experience. I don't use the flip screen at all. Never even pulled the screen out. I think maybe once or twice. Not my thing. Don't care about it. Menu. I'm sure you've seen plenty of videos. Everything's great in it. I will do a first person view next video where I'm just out shooting, so you can kind of just see me touching the camera, the settings that I'm using. You can actually see me work the camera, well, you know, how I would work the camera and how I would shoot with it. So I'll kind of do a little more of that. That way you can kind of actually see the workflow. I'll probably do it shooting with a model. That way you can kind of see me working with a model, or just, it could be anyone, it could be a friend, doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be a model, but just a human subject. And then I will do one where we're just doing outdoors and kind of walking around and showing different lighting scenarios and then the macro capabilities, everything like that. But as a whole, love the camera. Hope I can keep it for a while. You know, the only time I really sell these cameras is whenever something happens in life where I'm like, I gotta move or I need a car or whatever it is. Other than that, I try to keep them as long as I can, but they are, you know, pricey. So if you are in the market, you know what you're getting into. Every time I buy an M or a SL body, I just keep buying lenses. So I end up spending twice as much anyway. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna get that. Even if it's more expensive now in the long run, I'm not gonna at least be thinking about other lenses. So it kind of just slows me down as a creator and just saying, hey, this is all you got. Stop looking at other lenses. Stop going on YouTube and researching every little lens that you can get your hands on and just try to really master something. Doesn't mean it's the right way or the right way for you, but it's just what my approach was with this camera. And so far I've loved it. It's been great. Hope you like the photos. More videos coming soon, but that's just a raw kind of long-term review of what I've noticed and the things that annoyed me. And then, but as a whole, like it's not enough to make me want to sell it. So I still like it. Enjoy the image quality, enjoy the size of the camera, compactness, just enjoy using it. But like anything, everything has a beginning, has an end. Maybe there'll be a new camera out and I'll get that. But for now, loving it. And yeah, I'm going to do a video probably next week with a model. So stay tuned and I'll keep them coming out using this camera a lot. If you're sick of the camera, I'll go back to my Canons and show you that and go to the studio. I'll show you that. But I really enjoy the outdoors, but I definitely want to get some studio stuff in there. Maybe I'll try this out in the studio as well. I have used it a few times, but never like a full shoot. So maybe we'll do some of that. Yeah, more videos to come. So I hope you enjoyed it. Long video, sorry. I know I'm rambling, but hope that was like a real, like my thoughts on the camera if you're really thinking about this. But that's what I've come across, and those are the things that I've noticed. And yeah, good luck with your decision. Yeah, have fun. I'll see you guys in the next one.